Are you the guest I was waiting for? I need to talk to you about something important. Can we take a moment? Just as I was about to walk into the restaurant, a woman dressed as a chef stopped me. She looked serious, which made me curious. Was there a problem with my meal? But when I listened to her, I learned something shocking, and my face turned pale. My name is Emily Thompson, and I'm 31 years old. I work in advertising, creating better ads every day. The job is hard but rewarding. I met my husband, John, through work. He's a year older than me, and we've been married for a year. We both work, so we split chores and help each other with everything. At first, we only talked about work, but as time passed, we had more personal conversations and became closer. We realized we shared the same interests and values, and I began to fall for him. When our work project was about to end, I worried we wouldn't see each other much anymore. So, I gathered my courage and told him how I felt. I was nervous, but he felt the same way, and we started dating. A year later, he proposed, and we got married. Before the wedding, John told me he'd been married before and was divorced. His first marriage lasted about a year, and they decided to separate because they had different values. They didn't have kids, and John seemed to regret that it didn't work out. He was a bit reserved about love, probably because of his past, but I understood. His divorce didn't bother me as long as there were no unresolved issues. I wanted to spend my life with John, so we got married. At first, married life was great. We moved into an apartment close to work, and John's parents lived nearby. They were kind and understanding, and we got along well. I was worried about conflicts with my in-laws, but they always treated me nicely. Because of work, John and I don't have much time together during the week, except for quick chats at dinner, but we make up for it on weekends, cooking and enjoying meals together. I have a severe allergy to fruits in the Rosaceae family, like strawberries, apples, and peaches. Even a small amount can make my skin swell or my throat close up. Because of this, I don't eat out often, since I always have to ask about hidden ingredients, which makes me anxious. I developed this allergy as an adult, and it shocked me at first. I remember eating strawberries one day, and my mouth swelled so much I could barely breathe. Losing the ability to eat my favorite fruits made me sad. Over time, I learned to be very careful about food, but it made me feel stressed, especially when dining out. Luckily, John and his parents understand my allergies. His mom, in particular, knows a lot about food allergies since her father has a severe wheat allergy. Her support has made my life easier. Now, John and I mostly cook at home, which helps me feel safe and relaxed. Allergies can be dangerous, so we were always careful. My mother-in-law took time to understand my allergy and made sure meals were safe for me whenever we ate at her house or went out. She took extra steps to help me feel at ease. "You shouldn't have to worry about food. I'll make sure everything is safe," she once said, which touched my heart deeply. I have a great relationship with my in-laws, especially my mother-in-law, who treats me like her own daughter. We often spend time together, and my worries about my allergies have faded because of her support. One day, I got promoted at work after a project I proposed succeeded. I was thrilled and shared the news with my family. They were all so happy for me, especially my mother-in-law. She suggested celebrating at a fancy restaurant. "That place is so luxurious. I can't let you do that." I hesitated. The restaurant was in a high-end hotel I'd always dreamed of visiting, but I felt it was too much, even for a celebration. "You deserve this. Let me treat you," she said with a warm smile. Her kindness made me feel special, but I was hesitant. The restaurant was known for using fruits from the Rosaceae family, which I'm allergic to. I remember dreaming of their fruit tart before I developed my allergy. Even though I knew they could prepare dishes without those fruits, I worried about the risk of cross-contamination in the kitchen. In the past, when dining out with my mother-in-law, we always informed the restaurant about my allergy ahead of time, but I still felt bad asking for special arrangements. I was unsure if this restaurant could safely accommodate my needs, so I initially declined her offer. But my mother-in-law insisted, saying, "I'll let them know about your allergy when I make the reservation. Don't worry, I have a connection there, they'll take good care of us." Her confidence surprised me. I didn't know she had connections at such a fancy place. Since she had always been thoughtful about my allergies, I decided to trust her, and we planned to have lunch there. When I told my husband about it, he was also surprised to learn about her connection with the restaurant. He reminded me to enjoy the special day and not to worry. On the big day, I was excited. I took a half-day off work, dressed formally, and made sure I looked my best. My colleagues noticed and asked where I was going. When I told them, they wished me a great time. When I arrived at the hotel, my mother-in-law was already waiting. We went to the restaurant, where we were quickly shown to our reserved table. It was a busy lunchtime, so the staff mentioned there might be a delay in serving the food. While waiting, I ordered champagne to celebrate. The champagne tasted amazing, and I felt happy and relaxed. I couldn't wait to try the food I had dreamed of for so long. The dishes at nearby tables looked delicious, and I was filled with anticipation. Suddenly, my phone rang. It was a call from work. I excused myself and stepped out to answer it. The call was about a document I had submitted earlier, and my colleague needed clarification. Luckily, it wasn't a mistake, and I quickly helped them. Just as I was about to turn off my phone and go back, a woman in a chef's uniform approached me. "Excuse me, are you the guest who made the reservation for today?" she asked. She looked serious, and I wondered what had happened. The woman looked worried and out of breath. I wondered why she'd rush out during such a busy time. She told me she needed to confirm something, so I answered her questions. Suddenly, her face turned pale, and she urged me to leave the hotel immediately. "It's dangerous to go back to the restaurant. Please leave now and stay safe," she said. I was confused by her urgency and asked her to explain. Once I understood the situation, I felt my own face go pale. I quickly got into a taxi waiting outside the hotel and went straight home. Later that evening, my mother-in-law called me, furious. "How could you leave without saying anything? You embarrassed me in front of everyone. Don't you have any manners?" she yelled. This side of her shocked me. She'd always been kind, but now she was shouting and even insulting my upbringing. She said I wasn't fit to be her son's wife and continued berating me for what felt like forever. When she finally calmed down, I asked her a question. "You told me you informed the restaurant about my allergies, right? But the restaurant didn't know about them. Why didn't you mention it?" I explained that the woman who spoke to me earlier was a chef at the restaurant. She noticed the allergy badge on my bag and came to check. She told me that the dishes being prepared for us included the ingredients I was allergic to, not just in the dessert, but in the main courses, too. If she hadn't warned me, I might have eaten the food and had a severe allergic reaction. The chef also revealed something shocking. She was my husband's ex-wife. She used to be married to my husband and lived with my mother-in-law, who treated her terribly. After enduring constant criticism and cruel behavior, she eventually divorced him and started working at the restaurant. Despite her difficult past, she recognized my situation and decided to help me. She figured out I was the new wife because she believed my mother-in-law wouldn't have any female friends. When I confronted my mother-in-law, she tried to deny everything, blaming the restaurant instead. But I pointed out that the restaurant keeps recordings of reservation calls, and it would be easy to prove whether she mentioned my allergies or not. That's when she snapped. "I hate you. You're better than me at everything, and everyone likes you more. You deserve to suffer," she shouted. She was jealous of my success at work and how people in the neighborhood admired me. She admitted she wanted to hurt me, but what she didn't know was that I had been recording the conversation. I revealed that my husband, John, and my parents were listening in. They heard everything. John, furious and heartbroken, told her, "I can't believe you'd do something like this. Mom, we're cutting ties with you." My parents decided to take legal action for attempted harm, and John's father agreed to divorce her. With nowhere to go, she begged for help, but no one wanted anything to do with her. Eventually, John's father found her a small apartment and paid the first month's rent, but he told her she had to support herself from now on. She later tried to show up at our house demanding money, but John firmly turned her away. As for John's ex-wife, she's doing well now and is in a happy relationship. We even became friends. After everything was resolved, John and his father threw me a promotion party. It felt wonderful to celebrate without any worries, and I'm determined to keep working hard and enjoying my life.